this book. It's literally taken me ages, but I've been a bit busy. The reason why I've finally finished it is because I've been in isolation. And the reason why I've been in isolation is because I got coronavirus, which isn't ideal. And I got it over the Christmas period, so I had to sit in the flat with Nikki and Ryan, and we've literally just been sitting here now for the last 6 days or so. I'm starting to feel better, so I started developing symptoms on Tuesday, tested positive on Wednesday. Today is now the following Tuesday, so I've been a full week now and I'm starting to feel better. I'm still really tired. I didn't really get any of the major symptoms that you normally see, like coughing, loss and sense of taste and smell, and flu and like high temperature stuff. Like, I just felt awful. Like, I just wanted to lay in bed all day. I slept loads. I just felt like really fluey, but no fever, if that makes sense. The other two are still pretty ill. Ryan tested positive the other day. Nikki tested positive the other day as well. So, not ideal. Especially not over the Christmas period, but we can't really do anything anyway, can we? Like, we're tier 4. We're pretty much all in isolation still. So we're just going to chill out now. We are set to be freed on the 2nd of January, which is exciting. But we're well. We can't complain. We are well. Touching back on the subject of books, this is the 4th book I've read this year. I started reading in the first lockdown, so the summer lockdown, lockdown 1.0, and I got a bit of a bug for it. I started enjoying it. The first book I read was The Way of the Wolf by Jordan Belford. Then The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. Then The Best Book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. If you haven't read it, honestly, highly recommend it. It is fantastic. And then finishing off the year with Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. Well, I think it's told by Phil Knight, or maybe it's not written. I don't think it's written by Phil Knight. No, maybe it is written by Phil Knight. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. We'll say that. We'll say it's written by Phil Knight. But very good. It's about the story of the guy who created, Phil Knight, who created Nike, the shoes. Very good. Highly recommend. The next book I'm going to read going into 2021 is going to be James Smith. It's Not a Life Coach. It looks very good. And the goal for 2021 regarding reading. So I read 4 books within half a year. The goal is now 10 books within the year of 2021. One of the Halo Gym members very kindly dropped around a pull-up bar so we could keep ourselves entertained during the isolation period, but also as well, Tunbridge Wells is in a tier 4 place, so gyms unfortunately are closed, so this will keep us occupied with a bit of training while at home. Let's see how many pull-ups PM can do with COVID. How many do we think? If I get 6 here, I'll be well happy. Alright, you ready for this? Come on. Full pull-ups, so none of those half reps, come on. You ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mate, your boy still got it. I'm absolutely gassed after that. But can we all appreciate the amount of control in those pull-ups as well? Mwah. Next up, I'm going to do some press-ups. But I'm actually going to hold on to these like so, instead of just doing a conventional, if you get what I mean. Due to the fact that not a lot of us have the degree of wrist flexion to go into to be in a comfortable position. So we're putting ourselves into a very much like a passive range of our wrist, which could cause some pain / discomfort while doing a press up, but also could affect sort of your wrist in the future. So what I'm going to do is put these at a more 45-degree angle and then hold on to the handles, so when I do a press up now, I'm in a much more secure place for my wrist to be in. And it makes the press up just a lot more safe, but also as efficient. So what we're going to do is just nice and slow and controlled down, get into that bottom position, and then pushing up. I'm going to keep it nice and smooth, and I'm going to go to a roundabout near to failure. Another cool tip to make the press up more of a challenge to the pec would be to think about like dragging your arm in while you're coming down and pressing up. So you're thinking about like creating a bit of a force coming in. It's going to create a larger of a challenge to the pec. The corona, man. Next up, I'm going to do a dumbbell lateral raise. Luckily, Nikki bought some dumbbells in lockdown 1.0. So we've got some 5 kilo dumbbells. So I was going to do a seated dumbbell lateral raise. A cool thing to think about here to make it more of a challenge to the medial head of the delt. It's going to be to have a slight torso lean. So we just lean our torso slightly but keep our back nice and straight, and then come up into the top position. That's going to create a more of a challenge to the medial delt instead of being like this, which is going to be a little bit more posterior. So going to come up to the top, hold that top position, contract, and then slowly come down. Think about having like a tennis ball in between, like by your armpits. You don't come all the way down, you come to about here, and then we drive back up. Nice, slow, and controlled. Just really thinking about challenging the delt. Mate, I am feeling gassed. I've done like 3 exercises, 7 sets in total, and I'm dying. Prior to this though, I actually haven't trained for like 7-8 days, which is a long amount of time for me. I'm gonna finish this home training upper body session off with a tricep and bicep superset. For the tricep, we're going to use the pull-up bar as like an attachment to anchor the band. And what we're going to do is a single arm tricep extension. I'll do a single arm just because it works better from like a resistance standpoint. I can get a better resistance from like a dual. I can't really find a good enough tension, if that makes sense. So we'll grab the band at just above a 90-degree angle. And all I'm going to do is just push down to the floor, squeezing as hard as I can within that tricep, and then slowly come up, control that motion, hold, and then drive back down, all the way to the bottom, squeezing as hard as you can at that bottom contraction, slowly coming up, and squeezing down as hard as we can. Okay, so that's going to be the tricep exercise. For the biceps, we're just going to do a seated dumbbell curl. Annoyingly, I don't have any inclusion straps, and these dumbbells are quite light. So to make it a little bit more challenging, I'm just going to make it really slow and controlled. It's going to be like 4-5 seconds on the eccentric, pausing at the bottom position, and again 4-5 seconds on the concentric. Just really think about squeezing as much as I can, and then what I'll do is basically accumulate enough reps where it will make the movement challenging. It will just be, I'll have to do like 20 reps or so, which is pretty boring, but hey, we can't complain. We're getting some training in at home. I want to give you guys a physique update. I've let myself go over Christmas, right? I'm sorry, jokes. Here we go. I don't think the Christmas has done too much damage, probably because my appetite has just been horrendous, but we're not too bad. We're getting there. The goal at the moment is to just not lose. I can't really do this in this corridor. Is not lose that much tissue. Oi, oi, oi. Oi. Oh, yeah, come on. Look at the state of my omelette. It definitely did not work, did it? It looks like a messy scrambled egg now. But we have got 3 whole eggs, 50 grams of leftover turkey breast, 30 grams of cheddar, some tomatoes, some mushrooms, put a bit of ketchup on there. It will do, mate, it will do. Right, I'm going to wrap the video up here. I know it's probably been very short, but obviously while in isolation, there isn't much to do. So there isn't much to film. But that's going to be basically give you an insight into how I'm going to structure my upper body sessions. So basically it was like 1 exercise for chest, 1 exercise for shoulders, 1 exercise for back, biceps and triceps. And then lower body, I'm going to be doing a bit of filming for that, so you get a bit more of an insight on what I do for them. And I'm going to be taking you through like 4 days of eating, where my calories are, and just trying to break each section up so I can make a video on each section instead of just bombard it all in one, and then tomorrow I'm like, shit, I've got nothing to film today because what are we doing today? Nothing. See what I mean? See where I'm going with this? But I hope you've enjoyed it. A bit more of an insight on how I'm feeling, how my training's going. They're both still dying a little bit, but they're getting better. They're getting better. They're on the mend, which is cool. I'm just hoping that gyms can open within tier 4. That's all I want. Like, it's just so annoying that like we just have to sit around and do nothing. But it is what it is, and we're all in the same boat, and we cannot complain. We cannot complain. Hope you enjoyed the video, ladies and gentlemen. If you have, you know what to do. Smash the goddamn like button. Come on, give me the like button. Just like the video, man. I got coronavirus. Like it. And if you haven't already, and you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed to the channel, like, what the hell, mate? I've got coronavirus. Subscribe to the channel. Cheers, guys.